We have a special issue this March, which includes some recommendations from our favorite feminists about what books they feel our next president should be reading. One of the things that was interesting about our list of recommendations was that even though, they are all from people with an explicitly feminist perspective, not all of the books, many of the books, in fact, probably a majority of the books that they recommend aren't explicitly feminist. All of them virtually could be defined as having some sort of intersectional perspective, so that I think our writers have a very expansive view of feminism and are interested in looking at the ways that it touches on all kinds of other issues. So that, for example, Beverly Guy-Sheftall, who is an African-American scholar, recommended, all of her book recommendations were about the Middle East. She felt like this is a really important issue for our president to be aware of. And I think, and none of them were particularly from women's points of view, although of course women's point of view is represented in all of her recommendations. So I think that somebody like her can see the connections between her feminism and her perspective on international affairs. I think that the word feminist has scared a lot of people. There was a whole generation of young women who I think felt very alienated by that word and what it meant to them, although I feel like that's changing, partly because of Beyonce claiming the word feminist, of people like Chimamanda Adichie claiming the word feminist and talking about themselves explicitly as feminists, so that we're hearing from international women, we're hearing from African-American women and women of color who do claim the word feminist. And so I think it's being maybe a little more acceptable in the mainstream than it was for a long time.